Renee Zellweger was married to country singer Kenny Chesney back in 2005. Both of them surprised the public by coming forward as a couple, and this made huge headlines. 4 months after the wedding, they said they were calling it quits on their romance. How did their marriage come to an end, though? And what was the reason? Well, Renee filed an annulment against Kenny for alleged fraud. A lot of rumors about Kenny Chesney have been spreading around on the internet since that day. Let's find out what Renee Zellweger said while talking about her ex-husband Kenny Chesney when confronted about her marriage. Why does Renee Zellweger not like to talk about her failed marriage? Zellweger doesn't like to stick around with the grief of the past. According to her, talking about the same thing all over again enables people to find a way to build up questions about her ex-husband. Renee thinks that if an individual puts their private problems in the public eye, then people could have a million reasons to make fun of the situation and make everything messy. And that's just not a very smart move in general. She doesn't deem that an act of dignity. Although when false rumors are being spread, they not only inflict hate but also pain on the other party. That's why it's difficult to not speak up. She cleared up the air eventually, but doesn't like to revisit her past all over again. How did Kenny and Renee meet each other? Renee and Kenny encountered each other in 2005 at a concert when Zellweger wanted to meet him first. Renee wanted to pass him a note about the event because she had a huge crush on him for a long time. Kenny was performing, that's why he couldn't notice any signs from her, and of course, the intention behind them as well. Although Kenny's publicist got to know about this and helped live her intentions speedily. At the end of the event, he went over, and after hearing what she had to say about him, both of them confessed their feelings for each other. It was no large surprise that Kenny had carried a torch for Renee, calling her one of the sexiest people and a country girl who was down to earth. They shared mutual feelings, and Kenny said that she had the most adorable creations. Their coming together as well as their operation was something out of the ordinary for the public, as no one ever thought of them even being an item in the first place. Why did both Kenny and Renee get their marriage annulled? Both Kenny and Renee really admired each other and weren't the happiest to learn the different objectives they had for their lives. Zellweger basically wanted to transition out of the marriage as discreetly as possible. Both Zellweger and Chesney also stated in a joint statement that the only reason they got their marriage annulled was due to miscommunication about the goal in the beginning. It just wasn't meant to happen despite the good intentions and hearts of both parties. Both of them have actively dated after ending their relationship, though. Renee Zellweger dated the musician Doyle Bramall too, and Bradley Cooper, while Kenny, on the other hand, has been in a relationship with Mary Nolan since 2012. What does Kenny Chesney have to say about all this? Kenny Chesney thinks that people are bound to live their lives as they want to. According to him, he is pretty sure about the fact that he is not, in fact, gay and never was. And there's a long line of girls who would have a say in that matter. All of them he's been with in the past, of course. In 2009, he gave an interview and assured the public that he is and always has been attracted to women only. When talking about his marriage with Renee Zellweger, he said that since both of their motives weren't at par with each other, the only option they were left with was to annul the marriage on respectful terms. This is exactly what Zellweger told the press as well. However, the legality of the annulment papers had limited options on the reasons to do so. The reasons could be either some kind of abuse or other options if the same category. This was, of course, not true before they settled on the term fraud. Well, according to the context of this case, fraud meant that Kenny Chesney was gay or something of that sort. This sparked a lot of assumptions about preference as soon as the news came out. Why did Kenny Chesney come out clean when the rumors started spreading? At a certain level of fame as that of Kenny Chesney and Renee Zellweger, people talk about them any chance they get because they are public figures. Rumors get spread like wildfire, and the matters of private life aren't that private anymore. Some people never even asked about the fact that he was gay, they were just so sure about it. People thought what greater fraud it would be to marry a gender you're not attracted to. Kenny has made a lot of accomplishments since then by releasing songs that also made it to the charts, but his orientation is the only thing that is deemed to be widely talked about. Upon getting asked this again and again from various sources, he made a statement that this wasn't true, and being overtly forward about this and saying that he wasn't gay would have brought much more attention to this matter. Providing evidence of the fact that he wasn't gay would be the best policy either. The fact that he has to state his preference multiple times just because he was fed up with the allegations doesn't seem fair. Is Is Kenny Chesney being truthful about the matter? Kenny expanded on the reason why his marriage didn't work out on the Oprah Winfrey Show later on. He said that his life is like a box and everything that comes into it, whether it be friends, learning how to play guitar, or a new relationship, went into that box. That box is his house, and he has a protective instinct toward those who help him build that. Counting marriage into that box wasn't a plan for him at the moment. He was just not ready for a relationship on that level, even with a sweet soul like Renee. Clearly, it's very important to Chesney that his personal life is kept out of the public eye. When he's not touring or performing on an award show, Kenny is very private about his life and spends a lot of time away from the cameras in St. John. For this country superstar, it's definitely all about the music when it comes to life in the spotlight. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to find out what Renee thinks about Kenny, and does she even associate with him after such a long time? Well, let's just find that out. What did Renee Zellweger actually feel while ending the marriage? Zellweger was going through massive modifications in her life at the moment. All she wished for was to stop working and to be a normal girl for a bit. Although making a hasty decision, she had no choice but to let it go, as it was one of the biggest missteps she made in her personal life and felt stupid at the time. She was looking for something else, just to take a break from acting. Renee was looking for her way out of the acting business for a while, as she was exhausted from having to put on dresses and makeup. Not only that, the paparazzi interviews and all that traveling got her depleted. Zellweger got married and tried to take it seriously, although couldn't. It was quite an important decision she took, but things just couldn't work out for the better, and they had to end it on a mutual account. Later on, Renee did have a break from the industry and had a related phase of 5 years before joining show business again. What was Renee Zellweger's stance on Kenny Chesney being called out for being gay? Renee Zellweger took a substantial stance defending her ex-husband and wanted people to stop gossiping about him. He was portrayed in quite a negative light, and this just didn't seem acceptable to her. She elucidated that the term fraud is just used as a legal language and is not used to define his character. She didn't want anyone to use it further down the line because it was so degrading and painful. She also wanted things to be kept private. While promoting a movie later on, Renee was asked about Chesney being gay and the media portraying it in a specific light, which wasn't positive enough. She expressed that it was quite heartbreaking to see that beyond calling him gay as a derogatory slur, it was quite a sad sight. So what do you think about this whole situation? Let us know in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this.